She did not issue an immediate ruling, but said in an opinion on Wednesday that she would grant class action status on behalf of all children affected by the order and grant a preliminary injunction blocking it. Last week, a New Hampshire federal judge also blocked the president's executive order. The matter could be back in front of the Supreme Court, which ruled last month that judges had limited authority to issue nationwide injunctions. Trump's order would deny citizenship to babies born to parents living in the U.S. illegally or temporarily. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A legal fight over a flight appears to be over.
Attorneys representing the three plaintiffs tell KPTV Fox 12 in Portland, Oregon, they've settled with Alaska Airlines and Boeing, not sharing the terms as part of the agreement. The three who were on board the flight from Oregon to California last year when a door plug flew off the Boeing 737 MAX jet at 16,000 feet had sued the aircraft maker and the airline for $1 billion in damages. The plane landing safely and no one was injured, but the National Transportation Safety Board faulting Boeing for lapses in oversight, finding bolts were missing from the plane's door plug panel.
That's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed the morning after gains for the Dow and a NASDAQ record high, after President Trump had downplayed reports that he might fire Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell.
He's a knucklehead.
The president's also called Powell stupid and a moron for not cutting interest rates, but he added he's not considering firing him.
So he's doing a lousy job, but no, I'm not talking about that. Fortunately, we get to make a change in the next, 8 months or so.
That's when Powell's term is up. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Thursday edition of the Valley's Morning News. It's now July 17th, 2025. I'm Sergio Sanchez, along with show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's on standby, should be joining us in about 3 minutes. Texas Republican lawmakers making plans to redraw the congressional map of Texas, and that's on the governor's agenda for the special session next week.
President Trump says he thinks the GOP could easily pick up 5 congressional seats here in Texas, and the governor has made no secret of wanting to do that. That's why it's on the agenda for the special session. As you can imagine, there is opposition to the idea from Democrats, including one of the most outspoken. That's Dallas Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett.
The scheme of the Republicans has consistently been to make sure that they mute our voices so that they can go ahead and have an oversized say in this.
Normally, redistricting happens once a decade after the census is released, but redrawing the lines is not specifically prohibited between those times.
That's reporter Russell Scott. Texas Department of Transportation wants to make sure that the Rio Grande Valley can evacuate in the event of a major hurricane. So folks at TxDOT and some emergency management folks had a conversation about contraflow. That's where some major highways go reverse. All lanes try to leave the Rio Grande Valley. Had conversations about that yesterday. Next up would be more of a physical exercise, try to figure out which exits to close and which lanes to make contraflow. More fallout from the deadly July 4th Kerrville flooding that struck Camp Mystic and killed 27 there, including the camp director from Camp Mystic.
That director was 70-year-old Dick Eastland. Reports are surfacing that Eastland waited well over an hour after getting an emergency alert to begin evacuating campers. The first alert reportedly came at 1:14 a.m., but evacuations did not begin until around 2:30 a.m. Eastland died trying to save the young girls who were swept out of their cabins and into the Guadalupe River. No word if 911 was called out to Camp Mystic. The Kerrville city manager, Dalton Rice, said Eastland's phone had emergency alerts disabled. Kerr County officials are under scrutiny for failing to use an emergency alert until 2 days after the flood.
That's Eric Lycum with that report. A heads up on a weekend event that should benefit folks in Central Texas. A Rio Grande Valley soccer team is planning to use proceeds from a weekend match to help the flood recovery effort up there. The RGV Red Crowns. Good to hear that we have a soccer team down here. Must be Harlingen-based or Brownsville-based, right? RGV Red Crowns will host FC Dallas. It's going to be a friendly match this coming Saturday at Harlingen Field. And, of course, proceeds will go to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund. It's 7:08 on News Talk 710 KURV. No tax on tips How many folks in Texas might benefit from that? No tax on tips, part of the so-called big, beautiful bill up in D.C. That's coming up right after AccuWeather. Big thank you to Dougie and all the gang over at Martin Farm and Ranch, where you will find Purina Liquid Feed. Certified dealer for Purina Liquid Feed. It's Martin Farm and Ranch, Edinburg. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordy joining us again. And let's look at Texas travel weather for today. What you got, Jeffy?
Well, let's start in San Antonio, where it's going to be dry for the next few days, but on a warming trend. Temps will be in the mid to upper 90s today and tomorrow, and it's 100-degree weather from, Saturday into next week, but it's expected to be dry. Houston will be under clouds pretty much throughout today with temps in the mid 90s, and then they cool off quite a bit, mid 80s for tomorrow, and that's after some showers and thunderstorms push on through. For Dallas, we're in the upper 90s to 100s, and it's under nothing but sunshine.
Why is it slightly cooler this morning, Jeffy? It's like mid 70s right now around here. What happened?
Well, just a little bit of a cooler air mass. That's all. And then it's going to go right back up to typical or, par weather for the next few days.
I could feel it this morning. It was different. I don't know, maybe it's less humidity or something, but like yesterday, it was like 81, 82 already around here. And it's like
70. Right now we're sitting at 73.
Yeah, about mid 70s, I would say, for the most. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And tropical coverage 2025. What can you tell us about the Gulf?
Well, we got that tropical rainstorm that's pretty much near or over Louisiana right now, and that's causing quite a bit of issues in terms of flooding. Not only flood watches, but there are some warnings out there as well. That's going to linger for at least another day or two, potentially. And then we just have all these tropical waves, 3 others, but none are expected to develop. So we're going to have a low risk of development over the next, actually the rest of July.
Okay, yeah. We'll be here before you know it.
I know.
Only got a couple of weeks left for the month of July. All right, let's see what's on the menu for today. I wrote it down. It's,
I got peach ice cream day.
There you go. That sounds pretty good. And after you do that, at the checkout counter, buy some lottery tickets because it's National Lottery Day. There it goes. Take a scratch.
Okay, well, good luck.
Take a scratch off with you. All right. Do you play that up in Minnesota?
Believe it or not, so I do it every now and then, and I always go big. I go, the $10 or $20 scratch off ticket, and almost 90% of the time, I either make my money back or I even win a good amount, and I just cash out. My mom religiously does them to the point where she spends $15 a day buying them. But I don't do Powerball or any of the big stuff because I feel like, the chances are so much lower of even getting money back or just a couple dollars.
Yeah, well, it's true. You play the bigger ticket. And especially, you with that bloated high salary at AccuWeather. They got so much money to burn, right? So, you do get something back. You spend $10, you're bound to at least get a dollar back. Oh, you get the satisfaction, the quick thrill.
Well, yeah, I mean, when I spend the $10 ticket, I'll end up sometimes with like 50. The biggest one, my mom hated me. I bought a $5 and I won 150, and she was like, "You suck." And I was like, I don't. I'm lucky.
Wow.
She was a little harsh. She was jealous.
Next time I go get scratch offs, I'll take you with me. Okay, boy, you choose them. You go buy them. Thank you, Jeffy. That's going next hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine on 710 KURV. The White House is out with a map showing how President Trump's big, beautiful bill is going to help each state.
The map shows that about 5% of this state's labor force will benefit from no tax on tips. Kelsey Erickson-Strufert with the Texas Restaurant Association says this will help many servers and bartenders who are struggling.
It helps some of the hardest working folks throughout the economy.
Many, she says, will also benefit from a provision in the big, beautiful bill that also removes taxes from overtime. And the White House report shows that millions of senior citizens in Texas will benefit from the no taxes on Social Security provision.
Time is 7:13, Thursday edition of the Valley's Morning News. Going to share with you a conversation with our chief of police for Edinburg, celebrating the fact that they have their very own police academy. Status report on that. Also the most recent crime report for the city of Edinburg. That's next on 710 KURV.
When you speed, you have less time to react. Follow the speed limit to keep other road users safe. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate is long, expensive, and often avoidable with a revocable trust. Trustandwill.com makes it simple to create a personalized estate plan. A trust or will provides clarity and peace of mind. Get 20% off on your estate plan documents by visiting trustandwill.com/radio.
In moments of change, the greatest opportunities arise. This could be your time to shine and grow. At News Talk 710 KURV, we make it simple with tailored promotions, live mentions, and a strong presence across our social media platforms to ensure your business gets noticed and thrives. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, this is your chance. Call us today at 956-992-8895 and let's talk about your business on News Talk 710 KURV, helping put your business on the map.
The voice of the next generation of conservatives.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weeknights at 8 on News Talk 710 KURV, KURV.com, and on the Radio Potomy app.
News Talk 710 KURV is your go-to station in the Valley in the event we have a major hurricane, some storm threatening South Texas. Conversations with local leadership, making decisions on emergency planning, evacuations, and of course all the resources from AccuWeather and the National Weather Service and much more. It's Tropical Coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV, made possible in part by Lee's Pharmacy, North and South McAllen. We welcome back to KURV our police chief from Edinburg, Jaime Ayala. Chief, welcome back and congratulations in store. I understand Edinburg, we've got our own police academy. So catch me up to speed. What's going on in Edinburg?
Yes, sir. Sergio, thank you for having me. We have had an academy for some time under the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council. So they were the license that we operated under. But with our growing city, the growth of our department, we felt it was a great opportunity to apply for our own academy license under the TCOL, our state licensing agency, and create an environment where we bring in cadets and we train them the Edinburg way. We train them the way that we think the Edinburg community wants them to perform, and it's only Edinburg cadets. Instead of having some added independence in there, we're able to focus on just Edinburg police officers and training them the way they need to be trained.
So do you have a class? Did you graduate a class? How big of a group, a cohort did you?
So we're just started class 1. Our very first police academy class. It has 8 cadets in it. So about 6 months from now, we'll be going through a graduation. But we did get them started. We're getting them outfitted and on the way to go. We should be having a ceremonial kickoff here within a couple of weeks.
Very nice. So how'd you find these 8?
You know, here in the Rio Grande Valley, it's kind of word of mouth. You know, people that are interested in being a first responder or being a police officer. We try to attract them through different programs that we have. We started a teen academy last summer. We just graduated class 4 of our teen academy this month, and just trying to recruit them in. We have a very good compensation and benefits package here in Edinburg, and if people are interested in being police officers, we are willing to have them come test. And we had over 315 employee or people sign up to take our test this past test. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. 315. And of those, you had to filter out 8. Like, who helped you with that to process all these applications and tests and all that?
Well, we have our human resources department helps us initiate the test and bring the employees in. Not everybody shows up. It's interesting. We have so many sign up, and then, you know, a high percentage show up, and then some get weeded out in the physical agility test. Okay. Some go through the background process and get weeded out in the background process. So it is a pretty difficult process to be able to be hired into the police academy and or already come certified and go through a moderated orientation.
I got to ask you, physical activity, agility, like, how do you test them? What obstacle course do you throw them on in order to filter them out?
That's a great question, and it's changed. It's changed a lot recently. The state started doing this over 10 years, but one of our components is actually a rowing test. So on a concept rower, based on your age and your male or female, your gender, there's parameters of what you need to do and how far you need to row in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
And that's the first test. And then we have a running test, which is 300 yards. And the standards that we use there are through the Cooper Clinic Institute out of Dallas, based on age and gender.
Yeah. Rower, like rowing, right?
Rowing,
Like
yes.
a little canoe, right? Or is
Yes.
it like a stationary rowing thing that you have to row for a while? Or?
It's a stationary rower. It's a Concept 2 rower. And so you're on a machine, but you're having to use your whole body.
Really?
And so it really tests the whole body.
Edinburg Police Chief Jaime Ayala, they've got their very own police academy in Edinburg, got their first cohort of 8. And you mentioned something I was going to ask you about. You invest all this time and train them. It'd be nice to keep them. So, man, you got to keep benefits and salary up there to compete with everybody else. We got so many different agencies in South Texas. Then you got the state, and then you got the feds, and man, everybody competing for good talent.
So retention is really, really important. And I actually sit on a committee that focuses on recruiting, retention, and wellness with Texas police chiefs. And everyone across the state is having that challenge. And here locally, the biggest challenge for us is officers that want to go to Texas DPS, which is a great organization, or the United States Border Patrol, which is a great organization. But we're looking for ways on retaining our employees. And so the work environment, equipment, training, culture, all of those things our team is working on, trying to have the best of the best so that our officers want to retain employment with us and continue to serve our community and make a career out of it.
How often are you going to be conducting these academies? How long do they take, and how many can you do in a year? Like all that, because I'm sure you've got a whole bunch of people you can bring in.
So you have, the academy is about 6 months before they go to field training.
Okay.
We're looking at maybe running up to 2 at a time. So once we go through a whole list of our civil service test, we retest. And we do the backgrounds and scrape as many as we can off that initial test to get them in an academy. And then we'll retest so we can have an active list. It's a lot easier if you have a certified officer because you just put them through an orientation that's about 6 weeks and then send them into the field training program. And so it's a constant challenge because you're correct. All the other agencies around us are also competing for these viable candidates. And so we're all trying to make ourselves look as attractive as possible. And it's not just compensation. It is culture. It's environment. It's equipment. It's wellness.
And in that field work they do, right, they're side by side, like Starsky and Hutch, like 2 cops going out there, right? They're with a veteran officer, right, being introduced to patrolling and all that, right, for a while.
That's field training is 14 weeks, 12 weeks of instruction and applying what you learned in the academy. And then we have 2 weeks that's a ghost phase, which you're still with your training officer, but you're expected to do it all on your own. And he's there just to make sure you're safe and doing it right.
Our Edinburg Police Chief Jaime Ayala joining us. I called them up because they got a brand new, their own academy. They've been doing academy training for some time, but now City of Edinburg, we have our own police academy for Edinburg. How many cops you wanting to hire, Chief? How many you want to bring aboard?
Well, our total strength for commissioned officers is 195. And we do have a number of vacancies now that we're trying to fill. But over the last, over 3.5, 4 years, we've actually added 31 positions. About 20 of those have been with the COPS grant out of the Department of Justice. Okay. And so we're still trying to fill vacancies. So if you're interested in policing, pay attention to our social media. And the next time we're offering a test, come test with us and give us an opportunity to give you a look.
Man, how do you calculate that? Because as I was telling you off air, all of us in the Valley, Edinburg, McAllen, Mission, Brownsville, gangbuster growth, Harlingen, we're all growing by leaps and bounds. The economy is expanding so fast. We're getting much more population down here, which puts some pressure, I would imagine, on your department, like other similar departments, to expand and provide public safety. You got neighborhoods popping up all over the place. How do you calculate for something like that? You told me you could do 195 personnel, like police officers. I'm sure that number might be going up here pretty soon based on the ratio population per police officer ratio that you might have to calculate.
So there are various ways that agencies utilize. The FBI has a recommendation. The International Association of Police Chiefs has a recommendation. One of those is 2 per 1,000 population. And so if you have 100,000 people, you say 2 per 1,000, and you come up with the number you need. Some as high as 2.4. I would submit to you that you have to look at other parameters. The demand, calls for service demand, the crime demands. You might have an agency like St. Louis, Missouri, that has a high amount of homicides, but based on their population compared to another city that is very low in crime, they have equal populations, and you don't need as many officers in that lower crime city. So you have to look at different parameters, but in general, you're looking at 2 per 1,000. So for us, we should be over 200 officers if you use that equation right now. And so our city is extremely supportive. We are doing everything we can to make sure that we have first responder representation, not just police, but fire, out on the front line to make sure that we're serving the community as they want and need to be served.
All right.
So we're working hard. Every day the team is not, every day is a recruitment opportunity.
Well, it sounds to me like you're pretty close to that 2 per 1,000. If you said you're at 195 that you could be at as far as budget, and you should be at around 200 right now. So you're pretty close to that recommended number, 2 per 1,000.
We're close, but we know our population has grown from the census. So we're at about 109, 110,000, but I've even been told we're higher than that.
Yes, sir.
And so if you look at it that way, we should be around 215. But we're comfortable. We need to fill the vacancies we have, and then we need to continue to just find ways to work smarter, not harder. So leveraging technology is something we've really been focused on as well.
Well, part of the blessing, I would imagine, is because of, relatively speaking, I mean, we're not Houston or the suburbs of Houston. I mean, it's just a reality. We're very safe. Almost all major Valley City communities we have that blessing. And of course, Edinburg being the county seat, it has our university. You got football, you got the big special event center, Bert Ogden off the freeway. You got a lot of destination points on a daily basis. And, it kind of surprises me that, things are very stable, very nice, very safe still in Edinburg as we continue to grow. Do you want to get to that 215 number with City Hall, or we're going to keep it at where we are for?
I think any police chief will tell you, if you give me responsibility.
Yeah.
I do think there's areas that we can grow in on investigations, some of the reactive things that we do. But recently, in the last couple of years, we started a DWI unit to be more proactive, to remove impaired drivers from the streets, to keep our community safe. And those are proactive activities: traffic enforcement, DWI enforcement, engagement in communities. So our goal here has been to deploy our resources to where you're working in the same area every day, knowing who your pastors are, knowing who your managers of apartment communities are, knowing your business owners, knowing your mom and pop shops.
Okay.
And for them to know who to call if there's a problem. And so if you increase that communication and you increase that engagement, when there is a problem, our job is to make that problem go away. So we're not going to that same problem every other week.
Yes, sir.
We address the problem through resources. And so, we are going to grow. We're going to continue to grow, and we need to keep up as a police department with the growth to make sure that we have officers in place to serve.
The crimes report, the annual crimes report, tell me about it. I know off air you told me that the numbers seem to be down again for several years in a row. Do you see any new trends, interesting trends? Could be auto theft, could be, unfortunately, the DWI scourge, that problem that's just, it's, all over the place around here. So tell me the trends. What do you see?
In 2024, our crimes against persons was down almost 18%. Our crimes against property was down almost 25%. So we've seen some really significant reductions in crime over the last 4 years, continuing to trend downward. You mentioned auto theft. That is one of the crimes that is trending upward.
Okay.
The entire Rio Grande Valley, Houston, San Antonio, we're all dealing with an increase in auto theft, and we're all working together, even with our federal partners, to try to slow that trend down. You mentioned DWI. We went from 452 DWI arrests in 2023 to 617 DWI arrests in 2024, in part because we added that DWI unit. Yes. So we're out there with a focused intention. But this year to date already, we're over 100 DWIs fewer than last year. And so there's two things that tells us. One, people are making good choices, good decisions, and we have to measure that against crashes and fatal crashes. So this year we've only had one fatal crash involving a motorcycle. So I think our community, I want to hope our community is responding, making better decisions, making a plan if they're going to go out and they're going to consume, to know how they're going to get home. And that's why I feel like that's why we're making fewer arrests, because we're out there looking.
Yeah. On the horizon, UTRGV football and a lot of sports events and more events at Bird Ogden. And those type of events may lead to more patrols on DWI and things like that as well. Tell me how you work. Well, you know what? I'm pretty much out of time. I do need to make some time for you. You got one of those big annual National Night Out events. So tell me about that. Where do we go? When you can celebrate that?
National Night Out is the first Tuesday in August every year, August the 5th. It's at the Promenade in downtown Edinburg. We ask our community, come out, enjoy. Everything is free except for the food from the food trucks. There'll be plenty of those. There's a car show, dancing horses. The Fabulous Cruisers will be on stage, a special appearance by our own Bobby Pulido. There's going to be so much to do, performances inside the Ace, outside in the Promenade. It's going to be a very large National Night Out. We're excited to compete. We compete in the National Association of Town Watch. We were 9th in the country last year, from 17th in the country 2 years ago. So we're just excited. The team has just been working really, really hard. Right. I can't tell you, this is our Super Bowl of community policing. August 5th, Promenade, downtown Edinburg.
August 5th, downtown. That's Tuesday, August 5th, at downtown Promenade there in Edinburg, Texas. They'll go downtown and just find some parking in the periphery somewhere. So is it for bragging rights, or if you win, you get like a year's worth of donuts, or what?
That's a funny one, Samuel. No, it's just something that bragging rights or not, we want to put Edinburg on the map. We're doing everything every day because there's so much happening in the Rio Grande Valley, and sometimes we get forgotten in the rest of the world. But we are doing things just like we're a 4-time All-America city. We are doing things to make sure we're competing and we're showing the good work that this city and this community and our police department is doing to engage the community.
Police Chief Jaime Ayala, our city of Edinburg. Brother, you be safe, you and the crew. You call anytime, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. Appreciate it. God bless you.
Thank you much for joining us on News Talk 710 KURV. We invite you, specifically the 7 o'clock hour of the morning news. We're doing 710 KURV YouTube, 710 KURV X, and Facebook Live as well. Join us at Radio Para Mi. A check of sports next on 710 KURV, your station for Astros baseball.
It's hurricane season. The time to prepare is now. Stay ahead of the storm with Tropical Coverage 2025 on News Talk 710 KURV, your trusted source for real-time updates. With resources from AccuWeather and the National Weather Service, we'll bring you the information you need to be ready and be prepared. Tropical Coverage 2025 is powered by Mike's Plumbing, Electrical, and AC, McAfee Agency, Insurance, Lee's Pharmacy, and News Talk 710 KURV. Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health.
From the ENT Institute at DHR Health, ENT specialist, Dr. Alastair Lynn McRae.
ENT or otolaryngologist. My training was after medical school was in Chicago at Northwestern University. I do pediatric and adult patients. I'm also board certified in sleep medicine, so I take care of people with obstructive sleep apnea, snoring, those kind of problems too. Because here's a place with lots of allergies, but down here we've got problems with the fact that we're all gaining weight. Snoring and apnea is a real problem for a lot of people. I was first introduced to DHR when I first came down to the valley, which is now a long time ago. And there's been a huge growth and huge change. And it's always been an impressive place, but now I think it's got a potential to be a major medical center on par with any of the big ones that I've ever been associated with before in Chicago or New York City. I mean, it's definitely got that potential. I mean, the market is growing. I think the professionalism and their determination to make this as good quality as you can get anywhere else. There's nothing missing here. They have a complete suite of all the equipment you could possibly want. So in terms of the surgical options and procedures that we could offer anyone and diagnostic procedures, there's pretty much everything here. It's always possible to find those things, but here it's all in-house. It's a lot easier to arrange those kind of things. That's one thing I've noticed. And when I first got to the Valley, if you had a serious medical problem, a lot of people would be thinking, what, do I need to drive to Houston or San Antonio? And so actually, it was sometimes the right thing to do. At this point, if it was me or a family member, it was very unlikely that I'd find a good reason to get in my car and drive 6 hours.
From the DHR Health ENT Institute, ENT, Dr. Alistair Lynn McRae, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
Charlie Kirk here, host of The Charlie Kirk Show, inviting you to stay tuned for The Sergio Show with Sergio Sanchez, coming up a little later on this morning starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The Dallas Mavericks fell short in last night's Summer League game against the Philadelphia 76ers by a final score of 90-82. Leading up to the game, guard Ryan Nembhard was an unforeseen scratch from the lineup with the reason not being released. Philly got out to an early lead in the first, outscoring Dallas 24-15. Then in the second, Dallas surged back with a 12-0 run, which gave Dallas a slim lead. After an explosive third quarter from both sides, the 76ers used a 12-2 run in the fourth, to which the Mavs couldn't catch up from. I'm Jet Nelson.
The 33rd Annual ESPY Awards honored athletes from around the world on Wednesday. Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named Best Male Athlete. Eagles running back Saquon Barkley and Olympic champion Simone Biles each took home individual awards. Barkley was honored a third time as the Eagles took home the Best Team Award. Penn State volleyball coach Katie Schumacher-Cawley was given the Jimmy V Award after she beat breast cancer and led the Nittany Lions to a national title. She was the first female coach to receive the award. And the Clippers are adding a three-time NBA All-Star to the roster. Bradley Beal has agreed to a contract buyout with the Phoenix Suns and is planning to join Los Angeles on a 2-year, $11 million deal. The 32-year-old will now join a lineup that includes Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, and Brook Lopez. That's sports. Colin McIntyre.
AccuWeather says hot, triple-digit hot. 102 today, tomorrow, next day, day after that, 103 by Monday. There you go. Chance of rain, nel pastel. Really hardly nothing. Almost zero. Good travel weather, though, for the state of Texas. Right now, it's actually a little cooler compared to yesterday, about 5 to 7 degrees. It is 75 degrees at 710 KURV in Mission, Texas at our HQ. Border Bridge wait times is posted on KURV.com. If you're driving back to McAllen, it is a 45-minute wait at Hidalgo, about 30 minutes at the Far Bridge. And if you're driving back to Brownsville, let's see who's busy right now, 35 to 40 minutes at B&M and the Veterans Bridge. It's an honor that you make us a part of your life every morning, every weekday morning. The Valley's Morning News on 710 KURV is also at Radio Para Mi. Join us online, Radio Para Mi. It's a free app. Business news up next on 710 KURV.
Hi there. My name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile-long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
L&F Distributors, Bert Ogden, Capital Farm Credit, and Spikes Ford present the 34th Annual Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo at the McAllen Convention Center this weekend. 3 full days of over 275 exhibitors, including guides, boats, RVs, gears, hunts, and yes, fishing too. Whether you hunt, fish, camp, or just love the outdoors, you'll find it all at the Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo. Plus, live music daily, seminars, demos, giveaways, and special guests like world-famous angler Pedro Soares, host of Con Caña y Carete. And don't miss the live rattlesnake pit. It's the event of the year for hunters, anglers, and the outdoor lovers. Kids 12 and under free compliments of Academy Sports. Visit huntmcallen.com for more info. Brought to you by Santa Cruz Ranch, Texas Regional Bank, Santos Patronos Ranch, Dargle Boats, F&T Motorsports, Manrique Custom Vision, Shallow Stalker Boats, and Pueblo Tires. It's this weekend at the McAllen Convention Center, the Texas Hunters and Sportsmen's Expo, where traditions begin and memories last a lifetime.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. New research notes that if President Trump fires Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, experts warn that it would be significantly negative for markets. Trump said he was highly unlikely to fire Powell shortly after a senior White House official said the Fed chair was likely to be fired soon. The producer price index in June was flat, meaning that wholesale prices remained stagnant from May to June. However, the PPI measures prices at the level of the manufacturer, which is in America. Officials added that the index does not include imports. The NAACP and environmental groups in Memphis have filed a permit appeal to stop XAI from using gas-burning turbines to power its supercomputer facility in the area. Elon Musk's AI startup has been running the turbines for months to power its supercomputer in Memphis and previously claimed it did not need permits. Futures are currently mixed. Wednesday, the Dow Industrials gained 231, the Nasdaq up 52, the S&P 500 up 19. Once again, futures are mixed. That's Your Money Now.
Highs today close to 102. Similar forecast for tomorrow. Let's keep it there. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, even hotter. 102, 103. Your station for AccuWeather, News Talk 710 KURV. I'm Sergio Sanchez with show producer Brent Cruz. The morning news radio for South Texas coming up in a couple of minutes, Fox News. And I was telling Freddie, hey, that chunk of Mars, that meteorite that went to auction, we'll tell you how much it sold for. I was laughing at this because, man, you talk about a stupid investment, Freddie. 20, 40 years from now, we should have a bunch of Mars rocks around here, thanks to Elon Musk, right? Anyway, somebody sold out several $million for this thing. We'll tell you what it is coming up in news on 710 KURV.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the McAllen at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
The commercial roofing systems that you own, all those different buildings that you have, those systems, they need to hold that heavy water and get rid of that heavy water. Next time we get a gully washer around here. If you have a leak at any of your commercial sites, if you are the supervisor, the manager of a property that belongs to the city or the state or the county, if you are the owner of several commercial buildings, commercial strips, and any of those properties have a pesky leak, it shows up once the rain shows up, man, you better get all that stuff cleaned up, because very few things are more corrosive, especially over the long term, more corrosive, destructive than water. It will rot your commercial roof, compromise the strength of that roof. God forbid that thing comes down crashing on you, your equipment. Even worse, your clients, your personnel. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing is what you need. My friend Dale Johnson, Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. It's in the name. Get that commercial roofing system of yours waterproofed, if that's a word. Chamberlain Roofing and waterproofing. 125 plus years of experience, leading edge, cutting edge, state-of-the-art technology for roof installation and roof system repairs. And yes, it's in the name, Advanced Waterproofing Solutions. Free consultation, free estimate. Get my friend Dale Johnson out there. Take a look at what's going on. See if you need some patchwork right now. Chamberlain Roofing, Waterproofing. My friend Dale Johnson at 956-655-6178.
Every life matters, and every heart can make a difference. At Pregnancy Resource Centers of the RGV, we offer free pregnancy tests, compassionate support, and truth-filled guidance for women and families facing an unexpected pregnancy. Whether you're looking for support or looking to serve, we'd love to connect. Call 956-340-0164 to learn more, volunteer, or give. Visit prcrgv.com, where hope begins and lives are changed.
From backyard dreams to barbecue legends, South Texas Outdoor Kitchens has been part of your table for years. And this year, celebrate with us 10 years of unforgettable barbecues with Stoke. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens is loaded with everything you could need, from grills, smokers, spices, sauces, and supplies to make the ultimate barbecue. Tender, smoky, juicy barbecue perfection from a Rectech or Yoder smoker. Command the flame with an iconic big green egg, or get that truly all-American flavor with our PK grills. And if you're looking for wood-fired, crispy, home-style pizza, the Gosney Pizza Oven is just for you. Right now at Stoke, we're firing up the flavor to celebrate 10 incredible years of serving South Texas. We've got a fridge full of ice-cold drinks, and every Saturday, we're throwing down some barbecue. So come celebrate 10 years. Sip and shop the best of backyard barbecues with Stoke. And here's to 10 more. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens on the expressway across from the Shrine in San Juan, where quality and service matter.
News, traffic, weather, sports.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Thursday edition of the Valley's Morning News. It is July 17th, 2025. With show producer Fred Cruz, I'm Sergio Sanchez. You and family tuning in. Join us at Radio Para Mi, amigo. Go find it, that free app, Radio Para Mi, and listen on your smartphone, 710 KURV. Check of news, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. The Senate approving a White House request to claw back $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting.
It's the first time a rescissions package has passed in over a quarter century. You have to go back to the Clinton administration for the last time. It passed the Senate, largely on a party line vote. Every Democrat voted against it except one who is ill. There were 2 Republican no votes, Senators Collins and Murkowski.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson, beloved singer and music icon Connie Francis, has died.
Connie Francis became popular in the late 1950s and early 60s, noted for her strong voice, becoming one of the top female singers at the time. Best known for her signature hit, Who's Sorry Now, followed by hit after hit.
Fox's Gary Baumgarten, her song Pretty Little Baby, had a TikTok-fueled resurgence this year. She was 87. America's listening to Fox News.
More fallout from the deadly 4th of July Kerrville flooding that struck Camp Mystic and killed dozens of kids and campers. Also killed the camp director.
That director was 70-year-old Dick Eastland. Reports are surfacing that Eastland waited well over an hour after getting an emergency alert to begin evacuating campers. The first alert reportedly came at 1:14 a.m., but evacuations did not begin until around 2:30 a.m. Eastland died trying to save the young girls who were swept out of their cabins and into the Guadalupe River. No word if 911 was called out to Camp Mystic. The Kerrville city manager, Dalton Rice, said Eastland's phone had emergency alerts disabled. Kirk County officials are under scrutiny for failing to use an emergency alert until 2 days after the flood.
And a new hole has opened up at Yellowstone National Park.
The U.S. Geological Survey says they discovered the large hole back in April while doing some routine maintenance of temperature logging stations at the Norris Geyser Basin. The USGS says the hole is a blue water spring and was not there during their last visit last fall. They say the pool is about 13 feet in diameter and a foot deep and was formed as a result of a hydrothermal explosion caused by pressure changes that result from water turning into steam. The agency said the Norris Geyser Basin is the most dynamic area in Yellowstone Park. I'm Michael Kastner.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, but quite a warm bath, though, if you fall into that sucker. Yeah, you don't want to touch it. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Join us at Radio Panami. Download that free app.
Your Houston Astros play here.
Left field. Good one. It's out of here.
Catch the action all season long on News Talk 710 KURV.
Deep to right field, and you can kiss it goodbye.
Don't miss the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. We'll bring you each weeknight and weekend game with pregame and postgame coverage and all the action in between. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
We don't know the future, but we know what is in the future for pretty much everyone. There's a day, there's an expiration date on all of us. It's just reality. It's part of life. I tell you this on behalf of my friends Mark and Carla McCaleb, the entire McCaleb clan in Weslaco, Texas, McCaleb Funeral Home, 60 plus years, loving on families at that moment of separation and loss. When the Lord says, it's time, that's it. Okay. So to make things just a little bit easier, I would say a lot easier, I would suggest that you call Carla McCaleb. Call or text her. I'm going to give you Carla McCaleb's personal number, and you call or text and say, hey, Serge was talking again about this whole pre-plan and prepay thing. Yeah, I definitely want to help a family member who's going through the season, or maybe help my immediate family make sure that things are a bit easier when the Lord says it's time to come home. Pre-plan, prepay, it works. I mean, my mom and dad did this, and this is why I'm a fan of this. I believe this is the way to go. My mom and dad, they pre-planned, prepaid their funeral event for me as an only son, made things a heck of a lot easier, way easier. Of course, the loss and separation, you have to deal with that. It takes time to heal that, but yeah, at that moment, you just need to be quiet, be silent, be with your family. So pre-plan and prepay that event, that funeral event called Carla McCaleb. They will come to you anywhere in the Valley and have that sit down, bring that list, and help you get everything set up. 956-650-2841. That's Carla McCaleb, McCaleb Funeral Home.
Are you tired of waiting hours in your doctor's waiting room? Sitting around waiting to see a doctor isn't fun, and we know your time is valuable. The good news is that the physicians at Rio Grande Pain Team can help. Rio Grande Pain Team helps patients find relief from chronic neck pain, back pain, migraine headaches, and joint pain. And at Rio Grande Pain Team, we schedule your visits accordingly. Rio Grande Pain Team recently added providers, and we utilize the latest in scheduling software so our patients are seen on time for their visits and treatments. There's no need to wait 5 hours in a physician's office. At Rio Grande Pain Team, you no longer have to live with chronic pain. Dr. Dennis Slavin can help and have you feeling better at last. Book your appointment now in Weslaco or McAllen by signing on to our website, feelingbetteratLast.com. That's feelingbetteratLast.com, or call 956-973-0565. That's 973-0565. 973-0565.
No one wants to leave behind stress for their family. That's why a trust or a will is so important. Without one, your assets might go to the wrong people or leave out loved ones. Also, probate.
Summer is heating up, and so is our local economy. From sizzling business deals to community connections, News Talk 710 KURV and the Radio Potami app are here to keep you in the know. Download the Radio Potami app to stay informed and entertained. Whether it's local market updates, summer events, or the weather, we've got you covered. Support local, stay connected, and tune in to the pulse of Rio Grande Valley business. News Talk 710 KURV.